What a delight and honor to be able to address my long-term Japanese colleagues at JAPA, the Japan Endocrine Disruptor Preventative Action NGO, as well as their friends at the Green Co-op, the I-Co-op Mayaga, and the Co-op Jinzenta, and the Kyoto Co-op for Elders. After we published the Japanese edition of Our Stolen Future in 1997, Princess Nori issued a proclamation on her 30th birthday. She stated they were very concerned about environmental hormones. Dr. Toshi Shioda and I were then invited to brief her, her mother, and Emperor Akihito about the science of endocrine disruption in their private dining room in the Imperial Palace. For me, it was unforgettable. For me, the scientific interest in endocrine disruption that flowered in Japan during those years was also unforgettable. I flew many times across the Pacific to lecture and debate this issue. Unfortunately, the chemical industry in Japan was politically very powerful, and it convinced the government that environmental hormones were not important. Now, over 20 years later, we know how wrong they were. They told lies about the science. The government lost interest. But fortunately, research on endocrine disruption continued, especially in the US, Europe, Canada, and now even China. Billions of dollars have been invested in that research. We know that endocrine disruption was and is a threat to our fertility, intelligence, and even to our society. The Endocrine Society, the world's largest professional, medical, and scientific society focused on hormones, has issued a series of policy papers over the years that identify endocrine disruption as a profound threat to human health. The World Health Organization in 2012 issued a statement concluding that endocrine disruption is a global public health threat. And in 2020, the European Union identified endocrine disruption science as a key part of their chemical strategy for sustainability. Japan ignored endocrine disruption for almost 20 years, with birth rates plummeting and strange behaviors in young people throughout Japan. This must change. So I am very pleased to learn that this community of NGOs is forming a network that will once again encourage the government to revitalize its attention to the existential threat of endocrine disruption. I hope it is not too late.